Welcome to another episode of Ingrid's World. I'm your host, Ingrid Paris-Hicklin. On this show, meet Gail Breslow, Executive Director of the Clubhouse Network. Gail has led the Clubhouse movement since 1995. Under her leadership, the Clubhouse Network has grown from a single location in Boston, Massachusetts, to more than 100 clubhouses in 20 countries. The organization has won several prestigious awards, including the Peter F. Drucker Award for Nonprofit Innovation and the Presidential Award for Excellence in STEM Mentoring. Gail holds an MBA from Stanford University and a bachelor's from Oberlin College. So Gail, welcome to the show. Thrilled to have you here.
I'm thrilled to be here, Ingrid. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, Gail, give us an overview of the Clubhouse Network.
Yeah, I'd love to. The Clubhouse was founded, as you said, back in 1993. So in 2 years, we'll be celebrating our 30th anniversary. And we were founded in collaboration with the MIT Media Lab, with the idea from the beginning that our mission would be to be a place after school where young people could come, in particular young people from underserved backgrounds, could come and use technology for creative self-expression. So it wasn't about teaching classes, it wasn't about playing computer games. It's really about inviting young people to tap into what they care most deeply about in the world and to help them find a way to express whatever that passion is through the power of technology. And of course, in the process, they are learning marketable technology skills. But in addition, they're part of a positive and supportive community for whom a lot of young people, look back on and say that it was just like a second home for them and really help to shape their future and their lives.
Oh my goodness. So what's the vision and the mission? You touched on it. Expand a little bit more on that.
Yeah. Well, we have clubhouses today. I mean, fast forward from when we started to 2021. We have clubhouses today in 110 communities in 21 countries around the world. And yes, I'm very proud of that.
21.
All of the clubhouses have in common is that they all support this idea that young people should be offered opportunities to follow their own interests and to use those interests to explore projects and learn about different kinds of professional software tools, and then to help each other. So it's really a pay it forward kind of environment where when you walk into a clubhouse, you can't necessarily pick out the person who is quote unquote the coordinator or the manager, because everyone is helping everyone else. And there's enthusiasm and there's excitement, and there might be, 5 or 6, there might be some young people creating a movie, there might be some other young people doing a music video, they're in the music studio laying down some tracks. There might be others decorating a skateboard using a vinyl cutter. And so, it's a wonderfully rich and creative and sometimes chaotic environment.
So Gail, you've brought a wonderful video about the 25th anniversary video. Why don't you introduce the video and then we're going to show it?
Well, what I love about this video is it brings in different voices and shows the multidisciplinary, multicultural nature of the Clubhouse, which is, I think, part of our success is that we're not all, we're in different kinds of youth agencies, we're in different kinds of communities. Our mission is really to be in low-income neighborhoods, but the kinds of organizations that we partner with in those communities are really very different. And I just love this video. I hope everybody enjoys it.
Well, thank you. All right, well, everyone, we're going to watch this.
I think one of the reasons that the Clubhouse is so compelling as a place for young people to come together is that it's based on a learning model where young people are empowered to explore and express their ideas and interests through creative self-expression.
Mostly on a daily basis, young people come in and decide what they want to do that day themselves, and we just follow their lead. It's a really different way from how schools operate.
The Clubhouse Network gave youth an opportunity to explore at their own pace, at their own terms, and more specifically to explore the things that they actually have interest in.
We just went to this program, we were like, oh, technology, that's cool. But we found like a global network of like brilliant people and amazing opportunities.
It's a way to keep them off the streets. Like they have a place to go and just like, you know, do positive things and help themselves.
If they need a safe space to be at, that's the safe haven to go to, since sometimes school can be a little bit rough.
The young people that come to my Clubhouse are incredible, amazing individuals. They are teachers, they're artists, they're creators, they're makers, they're figuring themselves out and teaching everybody around them at the same time.
I can work with youth that are genuinely interested in what they want, as opposed to me sort of forcing them through it or coaxing them through it. This is, again, purely based off them, and that's really been like the biggest difference.
After going to the Clubhouse, I knew that I wanted to do something with technology. It led to high school internships at Microsoft, college scholarships, me going to college.
They welcome everyone in with open hands and make you feel safe, feel like family.
The Clubhouse helped me pursue my passion by actually believing in doing what I do.
They push you beyond your limits, and they make you feel like you can do so much more.
If I need anything, any instructions, any help, I just go to her and ask her.
I'm looking forward to be the next big top movie producer, so the technology overall, just me being in the space and having the ability to use it is what's really helping.
They're able to express themselves, to realize their dreams, and I think most importantly, find a place to belong and be part of, and to make positive relationships with adults and with other teens. It's just been a wonderful ride.
All right, well, this was a great video, Gail. Thank you so much for showing this for us. So let's talk about who's eligible to participate in a Clubhouse.
Well, if someone is interested in participating, or a young person is interested in participating, they can go to our website at clubhousenetwork.org, and on our locations page is listed all of the different organizations in those 21 different countries that host clubhouses. Typically, the age range is 12 to 18, sometimes 10 to 18, so it depends on the individual organization to make that determination. And typically, all of our clubhouses are free of charge. Wow. So, you know, typically there's a membership, and then young people can come once they're signed up, whenever they're interested. They're generally open after school, sometimes into the evening, sometimes on weekends, again, depending on the local organization. And for adults who are interested, you know, every clubhouse thrives not only through the participation of the adult staff who are there to kind of welcome and guide and coach the young people day in and day out, but also adult volunteers who serve as mentors. So an adult who has an interest in creative self-expression, in photography, in music, in art, in design, or just in, you know, has an interest in helping young people, is a great candidate for a mentor. There's information about mentoring on our website as well at theclubhousenetwork.org, and then every individual organization, including those in Fairfax County.
And in Fairfax County, well, we love to hear the sounds of that, since we are recording in Virginia here in Fairfax County. So before we talk about the locations of the clubhouses, what are some of the programs? Because you took some beautiful photographs and we're going to show them. I saw robotics you offer there and music.
Yeah, I mean, really the sky's the limit. Often for a young person, the initial draw is one piece of technology that they've heard that we have. It might be a 3D printer, it might be a professional recording studio. But then once they come and they see everything else and they see, the community engaged in lots of different things, often that one interest will lead to others. But yes, to your question, we have robotics. We have illustration, we have video production, we have music, we have coding, come make your own computer game and share it with your friends. It's really a sky's the limit kind of place. I mean, as you might imagine, the technology has changed a lot in the 28 years since the first clubhouse opened its doors. But the underlying mission and values around the space, giving young people agency and giving them a sense of self and helping them unlock their own potential, that is unchanged.
That's amazing. And so there are now clubhouses. So I heard you say 21 countries, not 20 anymore, 21. Congratulations.
Thank you. We just had a clubhouse open at a Boys and Girls Club outside Vancouver, Canada. So Canada is country 21. And, I have to give a shout out to the very generous supporters and sponsors who make these local clubhouses possible. We had a long and very fruitful partnership with Intel Corporation that fueled a lot of our growth in the early years. And then more recently, Best Buy has been opening what they're calling Best Buy Teen Tech Centers, essentially based on the same model and part of the Clubhouse network as well in many communities where they have employees and stores and a commitment to racial justice and social justice and making the world a better place.
It's powerful. And there are clubhouses here in Virginia. Tell us about the clubhouses here in Virginia.
Yeah, well, the first one opened in 1997, so it has had a long and storied past. It opened at the Gum Springs Community Center, and based on the success of that first clubhouse in Fairfax County, the county really decided to double down, and so now there are 6 that are part of the Clubhouse network. Not only Gum Springs, but also the Wilston Multicultural Center. And I won't list all 6, but if you go again to our website, you can find links to each of them. And you can also find them on the Fairfax County website. And I'm so grateful for the partnership with Fairfax County. The history of those clubhouses, the way in which they have supported not only each other, but other clubhouses around the network, including we have one in Charlottesville as well now at a local organization. Just like in every individual clubhouse, it's up to each youth to kind of pay it forward. That's true at the network level as well. And so we count on our older, more seasoned clubhouses like the ones in Fairfax County to really help support those who are newer and younger. So it's just been a great partnership for all of these many years.
Well, it's fantastic. So I want to just touch on about COVID-19, the Clubhouse network. How have you been able to adjust, and what has been the impact of that, of COVID-19?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'm so proud of the organizations that we partner with for the way in which they stepped up to respond to local needs in their communities, in particular in the early days, whether it was around food security or providing a place for young people to come and go to school outside of the homes and schools weren't open, and just the many different kinds of resources that our clubhouse hosting organizations brought to local communities. We are a very place-based kind of organization, but also the way in which Clubhouse has pivoted to doing programming on, you name it, on Zoom, on Facebook Live, on Instagram Live, on Slack. I mean, really, one of our values is really around meeting young people where they are at, and that's what Clubhouses did through the pandemic. Doing programming outside. One Clubhouse did a photo walk with young people and invited them to take photographs of things that, really spoke to them in the early days of the pandemic. And then it became kind of an art therapy sort of opportunity to talk about, well, why did that particular image appeal to you and how are you feeling? And activity kits. So, drive by or walk by and pick up an activity kit. And when everybody gets home, we'll get online together and do an activity together. And so I was so inspired and so grateful. Now, thankfully, many clubhouses in the United States are reopening, with caution, sometimes limiting the number of youth in the space or requiring advanced sign up, or still doing some social, or I like to call it physical distancing, to keep everybody safe. But again, just so inspired and so grateful for all of the ways in which everyone stepped up to kind of make sure young people weren't, left in that state of isolation that, is so easy for them to find themselves in.
It's powerful. So, the Clubhouse, you've been able to pivot, very well and keep our children, keep youth engaged and excited about learning, and particularly now on technology, which was really going to be something that's really going to be very important. Tell us about winning the Presidential Award for Excellence in STEM Mentoring. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Well, thank you. It was quite an honor. The heart of the Clubhouse is really relationships, and it's the relationships that the staff at each of the local clubhouses form with young people, and also the relationships that volunteer mentors form with young people, to invite them to tap into what they care deeply about, and to encourage them and to help them recognize their own potential, and then realize the path toward that potential. And so, mentoring is at the heart of who we are and what we do. So, I was convinced of that. Of course, whether we were going to convince the organizations involved in granting that award was another matter altogether. And I will not lie, I'll tell you, we applied more than once. But, if you sort of stay with something and have the conviction around it, sometimes people begin to see it your way. And so this was in 2019, and I was, just so honored to go to Washington, D.C. We were one of only 2 organizations around the country that was awarded this particular award that year. So it was really quite a privilege and an honor to be there to accept it. But I was accepting it on behalf, not of myself, but of all of the organizations, not only around the country, but around the world that we work with, and all of the, wonderful staff and mentors and youth and of course, families that make our success possible, and that, make what we do so very rewarding.
Oh, it's so exciting just to see how it's grown and producing these young people truly in a creative space. Because no matter what, it's creative, and I just love it. So here it is. We will have this on, of course, we'll be on Channel 10 in Fairfax, but it'll go on YouTube and hopefully all over the world. And so here's your pitch, Gail. Where can the community help? What opportunities can they, come for the Clubhouse and help you do your work?
Oh, gosh. Well, thank you, Ingrid, for this opportunity and for that question. I mean, we're always looking for volunteers at our clubhouses, especially now. Most clubhouses were not able to receive volunteers during COVID. And so many are in a rebuilding mode right now. And so, again, anyone, as I said earlier, who has a passion for working with young people and is curious and inquisitive and loves to learn shoulder to shoulder alongside someone, then the Clubhouse is for you. So that's one way to be involved. We're always looking for financial support. Clubhouses are free of charge, and we really depend on the generosity of corporate funders, like I mentioned earlier, but also on individual donations. So that's another way to get involved. We're always looking for young people and families who are interested in participating as members. So, that's another way to get involved as well. There's lots of information on our website at theclubhousenetwork.org about different ways to get involved. If you're interested in starting a clubhouse in your own community, there's some information about that as well. And I look forward, Ingrid, I know you have a large following in your audience, so I look forward to hearing from folks with an interest in learning more about who we are and what we do.
Oh, I just think it's like terrific, to have the opportunity and to have you here on Ingrid's World. It's amazing. So I would like to thank you for being on this show. It is fantastic. I hope that our viewers, and one of the nice things about it is that it may not fit you, but it might fit someone you know. And so this is going to be on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter, and we're going to encourage people to keep spreading the news. 100, and how many clubhouses is 101 now?
110 and more on the way,
110. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you, Gail, for being on the show and discussing the Clubhouse Network.
Oh, it's been my pleasure, Ingrid. Thank you so much for having me.
My inspirational poem is written by Bobby Jean Trotter Plenty. Success could be yours. Ignorance is our most crippling disease. Refusal to learn is a crutch. Laziness is a goal for future poverty. But never fail prey to either of these negative traits. Take the positive direction. Knowledge, aspiration, and hard work. Success could be yours. Thank you for watching Ingrid's World, and don't forget to friend us on Facebook at Ingrid's World, or follow the show at Ingrid's World VA in Twitter and Instagram. And if you miss an episode, you know what to do. Watch Ingrid's World on YouTube at Ingrid's World LLC, or ingridsworld.org. Thanks for watching.